Some days, it feels as if the world has conspired against you. For Mira, today was one of those days. The rain began as a whisper, then grew into a relentless cry, mirroring the storm brewing within her. She stood on the slick, dark pavement, watching helplessly as her paper grocery bag, now soaked and fragile, surrendered to gravity. The contents spilled out, a tragic cascade of bruised apples and crushed crackers. A carton of eggs met its end with a sickening crack, yellow yolks bleeding into the gray puddle at her feet. As if to add a final cruel punctuation mark to her misfortune, her house keys slipped from her trembling fingers, clattering once before vanishing into the dark maw of a storm drain. A sigh escaped her lips, a small, defeated cloud in the cold, damp air. Just as a single tear traced a path down her cheek, a figure materialized from the misty rain. He was a calm silhouette, a stranger holding a large black umbrella that shielded him from the downpour she was enduring. He didn't speak. He simply knelt, his movements unhurried, and began to gather her scattered groceries, placing them into a new, sturdy bag he seemed to produce from nowhere. His presence was a silent, soothing melody in the cacophony of her disastrous day. As he worked, a small, forgotten piece of paper, loosened from the wreckage of her shopping, danced on a puddle before floating gently to rest at her feet. It was a lottery ticket, its numbers blurred by the rain. The strange luck seemed to follow her home. Shivering in her small apartment, Mira opened a letter she had been dreading, only to find it was not a bill, but a notice of a substantial refund for an overpayment she never knew she had made. A few moments later, a delivery driver knocked on her door with a package she had ordered, a complimentary gift from an online store she had browsed weeks ago, a small, unexpected luxury. A fragile hope began to flicker within her, a tiny spark in the darkness of her recent despair. Was it possible her luck was finally turning? The next morning, the city seemed softer, the rain having washed it clean. Rushing for the bus, late as always, Mira was sure she had missed it. But as she neared the stop, the large vehicle hastily stopped, its doors sighing open just for her. The driver, a man she had never seen before, smiled and held out his hand. In his palm was a single, shiny coin. "You dropped this yesterday," he said, his voice warm. Mira hadn't even realized it was gone. As she took her seat, her eyes fell upon a familiar, quiet figure standing across the street, holding the same black umbrella, even though the sun was now breaking through the clouds. It was him, the stranger. A knot of unease tightened in her stomach. Coincidence felt too simple a word. That evening, as she walked home through the soft glow of the city lights, he appeared again, a few paces behind her, his footsteps almost silent on the damp pavement. He was a shadow she couldn't seem to shake. Gathering her courage, Mira stopped and turned to face him, the dim light obscuring the details of his face. "Are you following me?" she asked, her voice barely more than a whisper, yet sharp with a mix of fear and curiosity. The stranger simply tilted his head, the umbrella casting a deep shadow over him. His voice, when it came, was as soft and low as the evening hush. "I don't follow people," he said, his words hanging in the air between them. "I just show up where luck is needed." His cryptic answer offered no comfort, only deepening the mystery that surrounded him. With that, he turned and walked away, melting back into the urban landscape as quietly as he had appeared. Back in her apartment, his words echoed in her mind. Her gaze fell upon the rain-stained lottery ticket still lying on her counter. With a trembling hand, she picked it up and checked the winning numbers online. One by one, the digits matched. Her breath hitched, every single number. It was the grand prize. A wave of disbelief and euphoria washed over her. Just as she was about to let out a cry of joy, a sharp, sudden knock echoed from her front door. She opened it to find him standing there, the stranger Aren, his expression unreadable in the hallway light. He looked past her, into her home, as if he could see the winning ticket in her hand. A storm was gathering in his eyes, a stark contrast to his usual calm. "Don't claim the prize," he warned, his voice low and urgent, laced with a gravity that sent a chill down her spine. The joy that had filled her moments ago evaporated, replaced by a cold dread. "Why?" she managed to ask, her heart pounding against her ribs. He met her gaze, and for the first time, she saw a flicker of profound sorrow in his shadowy face. "Because this luck," he explained, his voice breaking slightly, "it's not free. When others receive a fortune, something terrible happens to me.